So this is a full body workout. We're gonna do 5 exercises. I'm gonna demonstrate 1 set through each. Start off with 1 set, and then if you can, go to another set. All but one of these exercises could be done with just your body weight. And then depending on how you feel, where your strength lies, you can add weight to that, and I'll show you how to do that. You will need a chair for this, as I have here, and some form of a step or a block, something about 4 to 8 inches high or so that you're going to be able to put some body weight on. So even like a turned over dog bowl or a stainless steel bowl will work. So first up is an offset squat. I have a step right here that's handy in my backyard. I use this step for my offset squat. If you don't have a step to use, maybe the threshold to a door, if that's gonna work for you. Otherwise, I have this metal dog bowl. I could actually even use this to get myself set up, and it's gonna get me exactly what I need to accomplish. For this, we just need to be able to offset your weight onto the leg that's on the ground and off of the leg that's on whatever that elevated surface is. So for the actual movement, I'm gonna get myself set up in kind of a wide set stance, squat stance, with 1 foot elevated. The leg that's on the ground is gonna be the leg that is working. So you can do this with absolutely no weight. I'll show you from a couple different angles, but I'm gonna start from a standing position, shoot my hips back, keep my abs tight, squat down as low as I can go with good control, stand back up, fully extending my hip here so that my butt is squeezing, meaning I can't stand up any taller than this, and then come back down. So that's what it looks from this side, and then let me show you what it's gonna look like if we add some weight to this. So I'll do the reps here with the weight. So let's do a set of 10. Whether you wanna do this body weight, whether you wanna add a weight, that's up to you depending on how strong you feel. You want it to be challenging, but still using good form. And you wanna stop before your form actually breaks down. So if I start to really struggle on, the 7th rep, I'm not gonna continue on to the 8th rep because likely my form is gonna break down. So in order to do this with a weight, I'm gonna hold this in what's called a racked position. So kind of like you've curled it and you're just kind of holding it up against the chest, the same arm as the leg that is gonna be doing the work, the leg that is on the ground. So I got myself set up, and let's do a set of 10. Start with the hips tucked under, belly tight, the arm without the weight. We wanna kind of make a fist and make a strong arm here. Send the hips back. 1, 2, 3, making sure you're squeezing that glute at the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna do the same on the other side. If you felt like you could do 5 more, 10 more, if you have extra weight, add extra weight. If you don't have any more weight to add and you felt like you could do more, either do more or just slow the pace down, maybe hold at the bottom before you press back up. So let's switch sides, get ourselves in our offset stance, rack the weight here. Start with the hips fully extended, squeeze the butt, squeeze the abs, and then send the butt back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the offset squat. If that felt really good and you feel like you can do more, do another set. Next up is a side lunge row. So it's actually not a lunge. The side lunge is just the position that we're gonna do the row in. You are gonna need a dumbbell for this, either a dumbbell or a kettlebell. We're gonna be working the mid back, and so you might have to experiment a little bit on the weight of the dumbbell that you're gonna use. The most important thing here is gonna be a really good setup so that your back is protected. We're always gonna have strong abs, flat back. So to begin, I'm gonna get into kind of a wide stance. I'm gonna push my knee out over kind of the outside of that same foot, and I'm gonna rest my elbow on my knee, kind of the inside of my thigh. This leg is straight. That leg that is straight, that arm is gonna pick up the weight, and then we're gonna row that back. So I'm trying to get my elbow up as high as I can, return. So I'm gonna kind of have my arm facing, you know, watch out at the bottom, and I'm gonna row up so I've got the number out at the top. Let me show you what that looks like from the side. So I'm gonna get into my side lunge, propping my elbow up on my knee. This leg is straight, row up and down. So an important factor here is when we're in that side lunge position, abs are tight, like you're trying to pull your belly button up through your back, keeping the back flat the whole time. Also making sure that the weight is kind of directly below you, so you're not reaching out too far in front or too far underneath. We don't want a overly rounded back. We don't want to be arched back either. So pulling that belly button up through the back so we can row with good form, protecting the low back at all times. Okay, so let's do a set of 10. We're gonna be working the left leg, we're gonna be working the left side. So we're gonna lunge to the right. The weight is directly below my left arm here. Abs are tight, and row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the abs tight. 5, 6, 7. Really point that elbow up. 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. Keep your feet right where they are. Just switch the side that you're leaning to. Kind of reset. Make sure the abs are in. Weight is directly under my shoulder. And row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the abs tight. 7, 8, 9, and 10. That felt really great. Watch that over again and do a second set. So we just worked the back. Now we're gonna work the chest and a bit of the triceps as well. And we're gonna do a push-up from the knees. We're gonna go from the knees to make sure we really focus on form. The form, the way that you do the movement is so much more important than the number that you do. So you're gonna start in a tabletop position so that your knees are directly below your hips, your elbows and wrists are directly below your shoulders. Your belly button is gonna be drawn up, so your abs are gonna be tight the entire time. Send the knees back a couple inches. Hands are gonna be just about shoulder width apart, maybe just slightly beyond shoulder width apart. Lean forward. So I'm in this kind of plank position on my knees. Keep the abs drawn in, and I'm gonna slowly lower my chest toward the ground. Abs tight as you push up. As I'm pushing up, I'm kind of squeezing, like I'm twisting my hand into the ground. Also, if it hurts your wrist to be in that position, either you can go on your fists, but also you can kind of grip the ground. So kind of do this with your fingers into your mat, into the ground, and that will activate the muscles of your forearm and it'll give more support to your wrist. So let's do a set of 8. If you can't do 8 in one shot with good form, take a break and then finish off your 8. So I'm gonna squeeze my butt, squeeze my abs, making sure that my upper body is just like a plank, basically. The only movement really is coming from my arms. And also I'm gonna aim for my elbows to be, not to bend straight out to the sides like a T. It's gonna go back at like a 45-degree angle. So let's do our set of 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those abs tight. 5, 6, 7, and 8. For the last 2 exercises, we're gonna need a chair with no arms, and a set of dumbbells. I'm using 10s. This is gonna be an overhead press, a seated overhead press called an Arnold press, made famous by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So we're gonna start actually with the weights kind of in front of us in what's called the racked position. So palms facing you. Really important, most important thing about this exercise is that your abs are tight the entire time and you never arch your back in order to get the weight up. If you feel like you have to arch your back, pull that tummy in, and if you can't get the rep up, you can't get the rep up. Stop right there. You might need to switch to a lighter weight. So I'm gonna start in this racked position. Feet are flat on the ground, belly is in tight. I'm gonna move out to the side and press up. My ears, or my upper arms are near my ears, pulling that belly button down. Pulling that belly button toward the spine. As I come down, I'm gonna bring it back, palms forward. So rotate out, push up, down, and bring it back to the front, okay? So that's the Arnold press. So we're getting that pressing up motion, but then also as we come around to the front, we hit the front of the shoulder as well. So let me show you just a side view. So you see how as I press up, I keep my belly button pulled in so that my ribs don't flare up, my lower back doesn't arch. So now let's do a set of 8. Start in the rack position, belly button tight, open, press, and down. That's 1. 2. Belly button tight, 3. 4. 5. 6. Keep that belly button tight. 7. And 8. Woo! That guy burns. We're gonna keep the chair for this last one, but no weights. We're gonna do a chair dip. I really like using a chair instead of a bench for this, because if we use a bench, our tendency is for our fingers to be pointing forward, and that's gonna put a little bit more stress on our shoulder. If we use a chair, or we can put our hands to the side, it's gonna keep our shoulder in neutral and it's gonna be a lot less stress on the shoulder. And we're still gonna be able to work the triceps as well as kind of secondarily the abs. So we're gonna start basically in like a reverse plank situation. So you're gonna set yourself up. First, get yourself like into a strong plank position where your butt is tight and your abs are tight. You can have your knees bent, that's gonna be easier. If your legs are completely straight in front of you, it's gonna be more weight, it's gonna be harder. So whatever your starting position is, you're gonna kind of push your butt back towards about the edge of the chair and then lower yourself down and press up. So you're lowering down to you're roughly 90 degrees here at the elbow and the shoulder, and press up. So this is really gonna light those triceps on fire. As you go, as it gets more challenging within the set, you can always bring your legs in closer to you to take a little bit more of the weight through your legs and less through the triceps. So let's do a set of 10. So my abs are nice and tight. Gonna send my hips back, slowly lower myself down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, keep the abs tight, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that was our quick 5 exercise full body workout. Go through that once or twice. You can always change the weight. All of those but the row and the Arnold press you can do with just your body weight, and you can add weight to the offset squat or even the chair press. You would just kind of squeeze a weight between your knees or put it on your lap. For the first time around, start off with 1 round of each of those exercises. See how you feel. For the next workout, if you want to go up to 2, go at it.